Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and today we're back in the studio. Enough of this international guest nonsense, talking to people from across the ocean. We're keeping it real in the studio. We're getting ready for celebration. We've had the breakdown from guests speculating about things, and now we've got cold hard facts. So we've got hard facts. We have to bring in one of my fellow travellers from that Geek pod. It's one of our regular contributors, Kneen. Hey, Catherine.
Hey, Josh. How you going?
Good. It's getting real. It's getting pretty real.
Real close.
It's getting real close. So this time in 2 weeks,
Yep.
are we getting ready to fly out?
Ooh.
Will you have already flown out by then?
Yes. I'll be in Houston.
Oh, great. You'll have your cowboy hat on and your spurs on your shoes. And
Yep. Having had some barbecue and some southern goods.
Some southern goods. Sounds like you're really brushed up on the vernacular in time.
Yeah. I think I should do some homework.
You'll be fine. Now, we were supposed to have 2 other guests with us tonight. We were supposed to have your co-host, Andy Campbell, and his partner, Steph, who's coming with us. We're supposed to be sitting right in this empty chair, this empty couch I'm looking at right here, where there's just a bag of stuff lying there, and there was going to be a chair right here, but Andy came down with something and he mercifully said, I'm not going to come in and get you sick.
No.
The word infection was used.
Oh, please. Yes. I think for me, as of tonight, it's 9 sleeps till I get on a plane.
Wow.
Yes.
So you don't want to be getting some sort of bad...
No.
So, hi, Andy. I'm sure you'll be listening to this at some stage, but yeah, thank you for staying home. I'm sure he was a bit like, oh, because he was kind of going, I think I feel okay, but it hurts to cough, and I'm coughing all the time. Going, look, I think you'll be okay, mate.
Yeah, I can live without that.
Just stay where you are. Stay where you are. Now, so the last few weeks we've had Claire and Eric and Hawes on, and the sort of the weeks that we've run along, we've got sort of more insight about Chicago, how that works, and then from Claire and her experience with the panels, and then Eric came on, he gave us a bit more about what he was up to, and then Hawes was quite good from the collecting side of things, and also a different perspective. If somebody who's got mobility, needs help with mobility and things, another perspective. So I think we covered quite a lot of bases.
Yeah.
But one thing that we had a lot of in those was a lot of speculation, because we didn't get a lot of facts. It kind of felt like every time I did an episode, a lot of those questions were being answered like the day after they came out. So the big one with Hawes, obviously, that we were talking about was, the lines overnight.
Yeah.
That was the big question. Now, all has been revealed, Catherine. No overnight lines.
Yeah.
I was going to say, how do you feel about that?
Yes, I think everyone should be happy that I don't have to stay up all night on the grumpy pants.
All of the people in your general vicinity should be happy that... Fair enough. Fair enough. We spent a bit of time together. I don't think we pulled a couple of all-nighters and you're on a little bit of sleep. And yeah, I'm not too bummed at all, to be honest.
No, I think we'll meet up with lots of people anyway, like on the days before and in the evenings. And I think we'll, rather than spending the night on a cold hard floor, getting some sleep so that we're pumped and ready to go for the next day. I feel like it's just
you actually get more quality time.
Yeah.
Like fair enough. You'll have that sort of weird experience of everybody. And I saw a photo. I think Steele or somebody had put up a photo of them in the queue the last time.
Yeah.
And it was nuts. They were like let's say we've got the area of the couch the podcasting couch you're sitting on, and you can comfortably sit 3 people on the sides of that couch. It looked like there was 5 people in the space of that couch. They were sitting, and then directly opposite them, so their legs were touching, was another 5 people. So they were all I hadn't really looked at the overnight line. I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of thought it was, I don't know, I guess it was more spread out, that it was a bit more sort of, it wasn't that.
No.
And I was kind of going, wow. And it's just like they're under the lights as well. Like the lights are right there. And although they're in a battery chicken thing.
Cold concrete floor and just, looked pretty bad. Like, I can get how you can meet people and make friends, but...
I think you can romanticize it.
Yeah, that's a long time overnight. And then some people didn't get in.
Yeah, so Alex and his partner Molly from Star Wars Explained, they were tweeting about the lines and things, and they basically said, yeah, well, we queued up last time and we missed out. Like, we did all night and we didn't even get in. And then they said there were sort of people they saw pushing ahead who kind of rushed the door or got in and slid in and stuff. And that would, you don't really care if you're in, but if you're sort of that close to the end and you can see a couple of people sort of wrangling their way in, or, maybe even people who were supposed to be there, but that they weren't in the line for whatever reason, it's still you're just like, oh, God damn it. Like, yeah. So I was always a bit sort of hesitant, and Eric sort of was talking it up, and like, you got it, hey man, you got it. I'm not going to do another Eric Struthers impersonation, but he's like, but I think it was, I think it had been romanticized, and I think it was also if you'd gotten in, but so they're not doing that. So they're doing a lottery system effectively. So there's been, I'm following, I spoke this on some of the other episodes. I'm following the Facebook group, The Celebration, which has been quite good actually. Because I thought you'd probably like it, because I know you've got a lot of questions, and I think you've gone, actually, I don't have as many questions as a lot of people have.
There's a lot of repeated questions. I know it's just filling up my timeline. Yeah,
same here.
And some of it I can't deal with. Like, can I just get this off my chest? There was one guy who had this big issue with the fact that it was going to be a lottery and no overnight lines. He was going to protest this by not showering for the entirety of the convention.
Oh.
Yes. What point is he trying to make there?
Yeah, I think he's going to... Well, no one will want to stand next to him. That'll be the alternate irony, is that we will get into the episode 9, but we'll be stuck next to the guy who hasn't showered. At least it's on the first day. Yeah. So it's not too bad as far as you come across some bloke who doesn't shower. But you know what? I don't know about that.
But I'm glad in a way it is a lottery, so that we don't have to do that overnight, and it is more fair for people who can't do overnight lines.
Yeah. I mean, Hawes said that he'd sort of stuck it out the last time as well, but he said it's hard, and if he doesn't have to do it, then great. You know, and I think the mindset is, it's just like, well, if I know I'm either in or I'm out, I'll know, and I can plan accordingly. And there's a very realistic chance that, there's probably all up, there's probably a couple of dozen people that will know quite well that we'll hang out with, and there'll probably be other people who know people that will they'll be around. But, there's a good chance it'll be 50%, if less, of who get into these things, and it'll be random. So it'll be like, oh, did you get in? Nah. Did you get in? Yep. All right. Well, but ultimately one of the panels will go for an hour.
Yeah.
There's a lot more stuff going on apart from that as well. So
and there's a couple of spillover streaming rooms.
Yep.
Where it's not the live experience, but it's still experiencing everything in a big crowd, so you will get that buzz.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm relieved, to be honest. I wasn't looking forward to having to do that, and I think I mentioned this on the last episode when we saw Tracy Gardner a couple of weeks ago. She just sort of said when she had to fly over from Australia as well and then do overnight, it's just a killer, because you were already, like, I'm flying out sort of 9 in the morning. 9 in the morning, and then I arrive in Chicago 9 in the morning. Sorry, I land in LA at 8:30 in the morning, and then I get to Chicago about 2:30 in the afternoon. So that's a whole, so I've got to try and steal some sleep somewhere. But it will mean that, and if I'd done that, and then even if I had one night's sleep, get up and then being up again, it would have just been, and it only would have been episode 9 I would have bothered for, wouldn't have been. There's a couple of the other panels that I'm interested to go to, but that was sort of the one where I'm like, all right, well, if I'm going to do this, that's what I'll do. Yeah,
that was my opinion as well. I wasn't really keen on overnight line, but I was prepared to do it for episode 9.
Yep.
That was it. Maybe if Cassian was going to be somewhere.
Diego Luna was doing something. The Diego Luna line was taking place over somewhere else.
That takes place behind me. I'm in front of the queue.
Form a queue right here, everybody. So essentially, it basically seems that it's going to be all based around the app. You get the app you get your confirmation number. So we're picking our passes up from the venue on the morning of, I think, unless we get really ambitious, we go down the night before and pick it up. I think it'll all depend on what time we get there and how much we can be bothered.
We'll have a discussion afterwards.
We'll figure it out, and so one way or another, it'll be sort of the night of or the morning of. I think Andy's got his mailed, and Matt from Blue Bantha Milk, he got his mailed as well. But ultimately, you just use your confirmation number to apply. It doesn't really make any difference, which is good, because obviously it's not fair if you get there and everybody's already done it because you've got to pick your pass up.
Yeah.
And then you essentially nominate where you want to go. And if you're going in a group, I think you get a shared combination code that you say, I'm with this person, this person, this person, and this person. I mean, we haven't spoken about it in detail, but when we're all in the same house, we'll probably do those things with our little house gang. It's probably the easiest way to do it. I don't want it to be sort of some weird sort of like sporting thing where you get picked last or you get left out or anything like that. So I think at least for the big panels, I'm sure it'll vary it on some of the more niche ones. I think everybody, but I think for the big Mandalorian Episode 9 and Phantom Menace panels, I think that'll be the ones we'll all go, all right, we're in it, we're out of it.
Yeah.
And then it means if we're out, we'll do something else together and, we'll go from there. And I think that's a given, unless Andy's listening to this right now and he's like, well, I've made promises to all sorts of people, but I couldn't see that. So that means it'll be me, you, Andy, Stefan, and Turbo.
Yep.
And if we have a straggler, if there is somebody who is left out, then we can throw them a bone. Potentially, if we like you, we'll see. We don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's just easier just to have the direct people we know that we can coordinate from the house.
Yeah,
it might
the
make
house.
it a bit easy too. So we'll see. Look, it's gonna. Let's be honest. I think the applications start the next day or two, and first 24 hours, app's probably going to crash.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's going to try and jump on at one because they don't realise it's not a line, it's a lottery. So I'm quite happy to just sit back and wait a day or two and we'll just coordinate it and make sure everybody's cool.
Oh, yes, you'll be getting a phone call, Josh.
Making sure it's all right. We don't need any panic stations or anything like that. So I think it'll be fine. And I'll be honestly, I'd be a bit bummed if we don't get into anything. But if that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'd be more bummed if I get out all night and still hadn't gotten here.
You've got to think that would be worse.
That would be basically the worst situation that there could be. And, I don't even want to think. I'm glad I don't even have to think about that.
Yeah.
And having to even just going, all right, well, if I'm going to, if I go to the Thursday is the first day, there's no panels that day, but you're going, all right, well, it's the preview day, there's shopping stuff.
Yeah.
All right, am I going to buy anything? If I have to, do I have to keep this stuff with me all day and all night now? Do I have food? What do I have to take? Can I come in? Can I come back? If I'm locked in, what do I do? Are we in a little...
You've got to pack like if you have medications or other stuff
even like water and food and all those things that I didn't want to have to think about. And I just thought, well, that'll be a weird thing that we'll probably won't really be able to address until we get there as well. So it's kind of like, well, I can't really prepare for that because I'm not... seems like each situation is different. So this is nice. We'll just know.
It's sort of taken out of our hands in a way, knowing that there wasn't something that we should have done or could have done to get us into the panel, that it's just...
and if you got there and you just missed out, you'd be like, oh, God, why did I stand that line for half an hour to get those Black Series figures when I could have gone to the thing earlier? Or, Eric and those guys, they got there in the morning, but I wanted to see some stuff and I didn't, and they got in and we didn't.
Yeah.
And so it's nice. And again, it's still very possible it won't happen, but at least you'd be like, well, at least that's fair for everybody. And some people are going to whinge and they're going to complain, but that's just the nature of the beast.
Life. Yep.
That's life. The Australians will just cop it on the chin, and that's how we roll.
Yep.
Now, before we go any further into the schedule, which was what we'll do next, I've got some presents for you.
Ooh,
so
presents.
What we've got here...
Not even my birthday.
It's not even your birthday. It's hardly presents.
Birthday.
Because they're not really presents. Because I'm walking around with my micro. I'm like, it's on a lead. I can walk around. So some of the merchandise that we've gotten from... this is Dale Williams' Death Star Commander that he forgot to pick up. So Dale, come pick up your trooper, mate. So we've got some shirts from TeePublic. I'll just pick them up.
Ooh.
And we'll give them to Catherine. She came around to pick up all her stuff, and we're still waiting on one or two things to turn up that we need for our trip, but that's all right. We can work that out later. Now, let me just make sure what we've got here.
I went on a shopping frenzy.
Catherine's
I've
been
issues.
keeping my children with the roof over their head on the commission that I'm getting on the designs, because Catherine's bought up everything. So they're mine.
This is why Hallmark,
mine.
you should ship to Australia.
Now, I got really suspicious because, I'm not suspicious, but Andy had ordered some of the shirts in extra large, and I ordered the large, and he's obviously ordered the stuff before and realised that they're quite snug. So these shirts are actually quite snug, because I ordered the large, then he got an extra large. I'm like, he knew, he was experienced. So, what have we got here? I think this is so we've got one here. This is a red, believe this is the Caped Hearts Mendo print.
Hearts, yes.
There it is there. I'll leave them so they're all nicely
Beautiful.
folded up there. It looks very nice. It's actually very red, but I think that's obviously the print on the red background has made it red.
Yeah, it's made it a bit red.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty striking. It's actually, you consider it's a very complicated design, colour-wise. So the fact that it's actually come out pretty clear is good, because I wasn't quite sure what to expect, to be honest. Now, that's the one that Jesse's been trying to get Hawes to wear, but he refuses to wear. So get on the program, Hawes. Catherine's going to be looking cool. Now, I'm pretty sure that is yours as well.
Yep.
That's your white Choose Luke
Thank you.
T-shirt right there. They've come out. I mean, they're just black and white. It's pretty hard to get black and white wrong on there. Oh, hang on. That might be a men's. That might be Dale's.
Okay.
Let's just put that on the maybe pile over here, because I know he's ordered one. I'm just trying to keep track of all the... here we go. Now, this is yours. This is the V-neck.
V-neck.
There's your Obi-Wans and Roses.
Oh,
So that one's come out quite well, actually. The black on the red has come out very nice. So very happy with that one. These are all available on TeePublic, Star Wars spelt out, if anybody's listening at home. I know this is a bit of a visual audio, but I thought, we can just go through them all here.
I have more T-shirts than days.
You can also... Well, I thought about that, but I was like, there's probably going to be chances where I'm going to want to get out a sweaty T-shirt into a clean T-shirt.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I'll probably take a clean T-shirt with me every day anyway for that reason.
Yeah.
And here we go again. Here's your Choose Leia, your white Choose Leia shirt. So you got Choose Luke, Choose Leia. You can more in the day. Someone's like, hey, would you wear saying Luke on that T-shirt before? You're like, I just like to mix it up, That's what I like to do. And I think
Hoodie.
that is Andy's down there. And then finally,
It's a Choose Luke hoodie.
a Choose Luke grey hoodie.
Yep.
There
Just to
it is.
confuse people on a plane.
That's right. Well, it's funny because it's all based on the Wham T-shirts, obviously. So the white ones, the message still stands. I still think the message still cuts across. So you've got those, and then.
Wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. This is an actual gift. This isn't the stuff that Catherine's actually paid for. She's got her own Star Wars spelt out footy beanie.
Yeah.
Which have come hot off the presses. That's only the second one that's been given out. My brother was given one the other day, so you're welcome to rip it open if you want, or you can say, well, yep, she's doing it live here. She's ripping it out like a person on Christmas. And is it going to fit? Oh, she's badge at the front. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
It looks warm.
Oh, snug.
It is going to be cold at Celebration. Oh, great. Look at that. That looks very, very good. You're not pulling a stupid face like my brother was either, so even better. Yep, no. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe, someone's looking at a live stream of Celebration at one of the big panels, and they'll just see some sort of pom-pom up in the crowd by somebody. I mean, it depends how hot it is in that centre. But, so I've got a whole box of those over there. I'm kind of figuring out how the hell I'm going to get them to Celebration. I've ordered 50, and I'm going to take about 40 with me. I don't have one less I have to take now that you're taking one. But I have actually got a couple. I was sort of there's a group, like a making swag group for Celebration Facebook group I've joined, and I kind of posed the question. Somebody actually came up with a really good thing of the vacuum bags.
Oh, yeah.
So I bought a couple of those, and they're like $8. They're like nothing. And I kind of laid everything out, and I can actually get it. If I get it sort of a big one, sort of the size of a suitcase, I can actually get it quite to fit quite well.
Yeah.
So I'll just put that in the big suitcase at the bottom and just put stuff on the top, and then I can actually take a carry-on suitcase and a backpack. So that'll be
cool.
my other one, and then I'll put all my goodies that I bring back in there.
Yeah.
So there'll be a few things to take.
See, I've decided going over, I've got a nested suitcase in that I've got a big suitcase and put a medium-sized suitcase inside it, and just will pack the medium to go over. That way I've got 2 suitcases for when I go shopping, because in Houston I will be hitting some shops, and then in Chicago going merch crazy.
Oh, well, let's not forget that you've got more merch coming as well, because you ordered our footy-inspired stuff as well that, is it? It's either Dallas, God, I think it's Luke. I'm just trying to remember if it's Luke or Dallas, who's from the Bad Motivators, who generously, because I'm just going to have to check here. Oh, it was Luke. Shout out, Luke, if you're listening, mate. That basically I'd sort of gone, I need something else. Yeah. Maybe, because I like to do those patches, because people do patches. And I was like, that was the first idea. And then I was like, I had this idea to do the old school VFL footy logo with the Essendon one with the plane. And I did it. And I was like, geez, these are really good. These came out way better than I did. Although I'm kind of, the only thing is going, should I have made it more obviously Essendon? Because I tried to keep it club little neutral. Yeah. And then I was like, because I didn't put the stripe, I sort of did a slightly different design. But I think what I'll do, because I am getting requests for do a Carlton one, do a Collingwood one, do a Demons one. A couple of the Geek dudes, Mitch from Geek dudes, like, do a Demons one. I think what I'll do is I'll make another one that's very Essendon, but I'll keep
which I'll probably buy.
Well, these ones with the stripe, but this is sort of like a celebration exclusive we'll do. But what I'll probably...
that's how we'll turn them, yes.
Yeah, but I think because I've got the podcast name on it, I think I'll do a more generic one that just says sort of Star Wars, so people, because it's got the podcast name is quite, because I think some people might like it but not buy it because like, what the hell is this stupid Star Wars spelled out thing on it? Yeah. So I think I'll just do a more generic sort of footy ones, and maybe just put a little logo or something on there or some sort of thing, and then I'll just do it like that. But these ones, are specific for this, so they'll still be special and sort of one of a kind. But anyway, I'd sort of come up with the design, and the patches were too expensive and they were going to take too long. And then I found a site that did buttons. And then someone on the swag group was like, use this coupon, you get $15 off. So I got all like 100 buttons for like $35 with the little logo on it. Yeah. And I went, geez, that's a good logo. And I showed it to you, and you're like, do it. Put it on a T-shirt. I'll buy it. I'm the merch queen. And but I thought, well, there's no point, because if we TeePublic it, they won't get here in time, because it took sort of 3 weeks for them to turn up. And then Luke from Bad Motivator just said, send it to my house. I'm driving to Celebration. Just here's my address. Just put your name on it and say care of me, and I'll chuck them in the car and give them to you when we get to Chicago. So you've got a couple more items coming.
Yes. Well, you've hit a weak spot in that I am an Essendon supporter. Maybe not after...
we don't need to talk about what happened last week. Sports talk, sorry everybody, but they played their first game of the new season and got absolutely smashed, and they were terrible. So
go Star Wars. But I've got some work friends who support Essendon, so I was able to show them the logo and they got it, and my family got it, so they quite enjoyed it.
I showed some friends. I had a mate's birthday drinks on Saturday, and I showed my best mate Marty a couple of people, and he was just like, oh my God, that's so great. Remember when you used to do footy designs? Because I used to just draw footy stuff on MS Paint and stuff. That's how I learned to design. That's why I first did design, was just I used to draw footy jumpers. It's like, just like I used to do that back in the day. He's like, you got to do a Collingwood one, and that's what Andy had said he wanted, and then I trolled him and just did one with a porg instead of a magpie, and he's like, no, that's cool, do that. So so I'll get around to those if I get time before Celebration. Great. If not, we'll do them after. But we are certainly going to have a few things to take with us.
Yes.
You'll be coming back with. Is the merch what you're after? Is it just clothing merch, or are there other things that you got a few figures and things, nothing major?
I had my friend in Houston buy a bit from Hallmark website, the itty bitties.
I saw them in Target the other day for $3. Yeah, they had got them all. Well, they had a huge... they couldn't shift the Kylo Rens. There was about 50 Kylo Rens. Everything else had been gone Star Wars wise. Yeah. And I was almost going to buy one, but I'm like, what am I really going to do with it?
They're addictive. So I had her buy up a whole lot, and then she's got them at her house, and I'll pick them up when I'm there, because I don't know why, but you can't buy from Hallmark and get it shipped here. You can't even use Australia Post Shipmate or Shopmate to get it posted out here. They just won't do it. It's like, Hallmark, I'm trying to give you money. I'm trying my hardest.
Yeah.
So I have to get her to buy stuff for me, and just every now and again just buy a whole lot and ship it out to me.
So what about, is there an exclusive? I haven't gotten across all the exclusives. Is there an itty bitties exclusive?
I'm not across everything, but just yesterday, randomly, I was asking Steele a question or something about itty bitties, and then a friend of his came in and she knows about itty bitties. And yes, I did see a picture of a Master Luke itty bitty.
Oh, that's cool.
And a Luke in Land Cruiser, or not Land Cruiser,
Land Speeder?
Land Speeder, that's the word. Luke in Land Speeder.
Oh, like he's actually in the Land Speeder?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So I've got a Luke in X-Wing. So the X-Wing's made of cardboard and he just sits in there. But, yeah, this would be a Land Speeder.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Whether they come out at Celebration or not, but otherwise...
Take my money.
Take my money, Hallmark.
Got it. Here it is. It's ready. It's burning a hole in my pocket, man.
Yeah.
Because are you doing any autographs or photos?
I haven't booked anything yet, because I think
you're holding out for Diego
what
Luna.
The panels.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and there's no Diego Luna. I think the joke Brittany made on Twitter was that they'd pay to see me meet Diego Luna. Yeah,
I'd chuck into that if I could watch. Here's $20. Chuck it. Let's go.
Yeah. My response was, I'd cry, and it would be like he was a beetle.
It's like, hello? You can get off the ground now, please? Have you seen the... this isn't Diego Luna, but have you seen the wide questions with Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal? Have you seen them answering the web's most answered questions? I
think I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen
the whole thing. I'll send you the link. It's not Diego Luna, but it's the handsome men of Star Wars going through there. Well, it's just so close. It's just so close.
But now I know panels. I might. Time.
Is it? So you've seen the list of who's there. Who jumps out?
Some of the people who jump out to me jump out for non-Star Wars reasons, like Alan Tudyk because of Firefly. Yeah. Wash. Like, how can you not? Jason Isaacs mostly because of the Wittertainment podcast. Mark Kermode.
Not Potter.
Sorry?
Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, from Potter, but that's mainly so I can walk up and say hello to Jason Isaacs, because that's a joke from a movie review podcast from BBC 5.
Oh, wow, that's a very specific pull.
It's a very deep cut. Who else?
I think a lot of I saw that they announced Hayden Christensen was going to be there.
$200. Yeah.
I mean, you know what? If people will pay it, that's great. Yeah. And if that's what it takes for him to come, that's great. Yeah. I don't think you can get your knickers in a knot and say, oh, how dare they? It's just like, well, he doesn't have to be there. No. Some people will pay it.
Yeah. No.
That's fine. I don't know how those things work, but if it's basically like he's like, hey, he needs a guaranteed amount to be there, then cool. Now I think there's a few people doing Billy D. Yeah,
that could be cool.
And then I think Struthers is doing Erin. I can't remember her last name. Emphas Nest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is quite cool. Although I don't really know anything about her apart from Solo, though.
No, I have to admit, there's no one really burning to see. As you say, Diego Luna would.
Yeah,
that would be up.
I know,
there.
And they've got like Alan Tudyk and Riz Ahmed's there, and then Ball Gullet. I can always get Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker,
which is crazy to me. I didn't think he would really Like, he's an
he
Academy Award-winning actor, Forrest Whitaker. Like,
Yeah.
he must just really love being in Star Wars, I suppose. I'd never really got an impression that that would be his kind of bag, but maybe he's just like, I like Star Wars.
Yeah,
Maybe he lives in Chicago. Maybe he's like, I'll pop down. I'm not doing anything. I'll just go down and check it out. It's no big deal. I'll happily go.
Yeah, I have to admit not knowing the panels have stopped me from booking something, but then looking at the list, even then there was nothing there. I went, I've got to see.
It's like, I've got to get this. Yep.
Again, Ewan would be another one who I was like, I have to.
Yep.
I have to see him.
Yep. And you kind of go, well, I would have been like, he wouldn't do that. But then I'm like, Forrest Whitaker's doing it. That's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's the big rumor is Ewan McGregor going to show up? And if he shows up, do they announce an Obi-Wan show? If he shows up for Phantom Menace panel, that's a sort of, do they save that for the last day? Who knows? Does he turn up and not announce anything? Is it worse if he does turn up and doesn't announce anything? Get people's hopes up. When do you do it? Do you do it at the end of the Mandalorian panel? I mean, we were sort of speculating a few months ago about, would Diego Luna turn up for Cassian? But it seems like they're parking that. That's probably going to be a next year celebration.
Oh, yeah, because it seems like Cassian will be out more next year. That show, because they haven't started filming yet, as far as I know.
Yeah, it certainly looks like nothing's going to happen there. So,
we don't even know how we're going to get Disney Plus here.
Well, I don't think we are. I think we're just going to get all the exclusive stuff on Stan.
Well,
which is good because I already got Stan.
I mean, it would be fantastic if that's what happens.
I think in the short term, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe first 12 months, I think that's what'll happen. Maybe when they get a foothold and they can expand the infrastructure and stuff like that. But I think that's where it'll end up because, we're a bunch of pirates. So if we don't get our own way, we'll just take it. We'll just take it anyway.
And it's probably easier to go into partnership with an existing company rather than try to get a foothold on the market.
Oh, for sure. And they can they basically was just whoever's not Netflix. The commercial thing had ended with Netflix, so I think they were basically just like, all right, well, we're going to sever that relationship. So now we've just got to put this on a platform that's just not them. So it works really well because obviously we've already got it. So that'd be quite handy. And the thing is, it's like, off the jump, they're not going to have stacks of stuff. They'll have all the back catalogue of Disney stuff, but the deal might just be for the exclusives, the new content for Australia. It's not like maybe you won't get. I mean, I don't know whether they're going to put here's all the Disney movies all at once, and here's all the TV shows and all the stuff. They might do that, but they might be like, well, this deal in Australia is just for the new stuff we make for this because we can sell that because there aren't all these weird old deals for content and stuff.
Yeah, the old weird deals is what we'll do them in, but. Even still, there's a lot of stuff on Stan, like the Disney stuff. And Stan has had a bit of a jump in price. So it went up this last month. So you kind of wonder whether that's part of a deal with Disney as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
We'll see how we go. So
I almost feel like getting up in The Mandalorian
and going, excuse me, what's happening in Australia? Hi, Catherine from Australia here. G'day, everybody. G'day. What's going to happen with The Mandalorian? All right, so enough of that speculation. Let's talk panels.
Yep.
Now, we're about to attempt something here where we're going to jump off and we're going to tap in another guest on the internet and we're going to have this chat over the internet. So we're going to see how this goes. So we will catch you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. We've got a little bit of a different setup going on here now. We've just decided to dial into Sydney to bring another member of our little merry party going over to Celebration so we can break down these panels. Matthew Thurbon, hey mate, how you doing?
Pretty good, Josh. Hi, Catherine. How's everybody doing tonight?
All good? We're going pretty well down here in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Now, you were a late addition to the little caravan of courage after you had your accommodation cancelled on you like we did, but it was even closer to Celebration than we were.
Yeah, look, part of that is probably my disorganisation, but it was one of those Airbnbs where you sort of reserve a spot but don't actually pay for it, and then later on they tell you it's just not happening. So,
all right. So you're living dangerously.
Yeah, living dangerously. That's the way I live, on the edge. So
You're just the bad boy of organising.
I had a trip to the US with work, and I was sort of focusing on that. So the celebration trip was a bit secondary. But now I'm back from the US, so I'm ready and raring to go. After, I think there's 16 days. Is that right? 15 days left to go.
Oh,
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we were sort of counting down before. Yeah, it's about that. Very close. It's feeling very real. Very real.
Yeah, the international date line doesn't help when you're trying to add things up. But yeah.
Look, when we were trying to organise the accommodation stuff, it's like, oh, what day do we land and what day is that? That's the same day we left. And okay, the Thursday's a day, but it's not. There's no panels, and okay, we've got to work that out and
Yeah.
So we've just been talking about just generally, getting ready and going and stuff. And we talked about the lottery system, obviously, which is making things easier or harder, whichever way you want to look at it. But we were sort of a little relieved that we don't have to camp out overnight. We're kind of leaving it in the hands of fate.
Yeah. Look, I'm actually on two minds about this. Like, I've actually built up a bit of match fitness in terms of international travel. So
you've just been sleeping out in your backyard all night, getting ready.
A couple of trips to the US and stuff. But no, look, I'm happy that at least we know we don't have to sleep out. But my concerns are, I'd love to know, particularly for day 5, if I actually get into day 5, because there's a few things. My wife has to go to Melbourne that day for work, and I just want a bit of predictability.
Yep.
But yeah, that we'll just leave it up to the celebration gods, I think.
All right. So, speaking of the celebration gods, the gods that going to rule our fate, I'm just going to go through the official schedule here, and we'll just touch on things more or less. I'm not going to read it all out and things, but just how we feel, whether we feel it's something that we really want to see. I think this is all the sort of major stuff. I'm sure there's a lot more other smaller things. We can go into that, if we get time for it. But
yeah, cool.
So we're just going to kick off Friday on the April 12, 11 a.m. the episode 9 panel. So this is sort of the big daddy, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm all in for that. Like, that would be probably my equal number 1 with the Phantom Menace.
Ooh, jumping ahead.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I mean, the reason I decided to come to this celebration, and I've never been to one, is I just want to see that end of chapter, sort of episode 9, the final Skywalker saga. As you guys know, I've got young kids, and they're sort of old enough so that I can sort of leave them behind and try
show off and say, guess where Dad's going?
Yeah, guess where Dad's going. Try this celebration by myself, and when they're a couple of years older, I'll bring them along and bring them along for the ride, and the whole family, I guess.
Come on, kids! The episode 14 trailers about to drop, so
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it only says that that JJ and Kathy Kennedy are the only names confirmed here. Who else? Are we assuming major cast, Catherine?
Yeah, I reckon John Boyega.
Daisy Ridley,
yeah.
Oscar Isaac.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be those 3. Has to be.
Adam Driver gets out of bed for this one.
Yep. I mean, apparently he's doing that Broadway play at the moment.
Oh, you can pop down.
Yeah. We're coming from Australia.
I don't imagine he'd be doing any like signatures or meet and greets, but I'm sure he'll pop in for the day or half a day, just to wave and yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's great to be here. Thank you for coming. I mean, what do you say about this? It hasn't already been said. They'll come out. They'll sizzle some things. The actors will talk. They won't give too much away. They'll roll the trailer. They'll probably roll the trailer again. People will go nuts. We'll get the title. There's pretty much no way the title's coming out before this now, is there?
No.
So do you think the title will be as part of the trailer reveal or before?
I think it'll be like, end. It'll say Star Wars, the death of Skywalkers or whatever it'll be. That'll be the thing. Like, I think the title will be the punch on the. It'll probably have a little cliffhangery kind of like, oh my god, what's happening?
Moment of black.
Yeah, I mean, it'll end on a bit like and then it'll have the thing going. The end of this or the or the whatever.
So I'm trying to remember how we got the title The Force Awakens. Was that part of a trailer or was that announced separately?
I think that was just announced separately.
Separately, yeah. So I'm wondering also with the episode 9 trailer, will we get to see sort of a Chewie, we're home moment, like that little moment in the trailer, which makes you just,
I think it's going to be
reminisce.
more. I think it's going to be less woos and more. Oh my god, what's going to happen? Something bad is happening.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more. It's going to be a bit of that rather than sort of woo. I think they really want to. I think they want to give you a real sort of all bets are off sort of vibe.
Mm.
That's what I'm feeling.
We need some sort of positivity towards the end, like some sort of hand clapping or, some sort of celebration at the end. But I don't know if this episode 9 is going to give us that. I think it might give us a little...
The film definitely will. I don't think the trailer will. I think the trailer wants to say, this ain't you, this is it. Anything can happen. Not everyone's going to make... It's going to have a very Avengers Endgame kind of... You don't know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a pretty darkish trailer, I think. I'm vibing more darkish.
See,
I think there might
for celebration, you'd want a happier one. You want that room full of happy, vibey people being, really jumping up and down and getting those screams of happiness.
All right,
I get the feeling we might get some sort of flashback trailer to all the previous episodes in the trilogy, like some sort of, reference to what's come before in episodes 1 through 8.
Like Topher Race's...
I'm thinking a bit more maybe. Like that, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, like I said, it's all sort of speculation at the moment. We don't know. So let's move on to the... we don't have to go into the super details on this. This is all the stuff on the big stages. So after that is the Vader Immortal, the VR series. Is that anything that sort of grabs you guys? Would that be something you'd reckon you'd get down to? Catherine's sort of not looking particularly interested. Turbo?
Look, if I was into games, I probably would be, but I'm so far behind in games. I haven't even played Battlefront 1, and that doesn't interest me at the moment. Like in terms of video games, I'm probably like 5 or 10 years behind. So yeah.
All right.
I'm further behind than you. Don't worry.
We'll get to it. I think there is another game one, but that's not really the VR one. I've actually got the Jedi Power Battles that's sitting in a box over there that haven't really been taken out yet. So
I've got that. That was on bargain at JB, right?
Yeah, I got it for like $70.
Yeah,
I mean, the lightsaber itself pays for itself, to be honest, because it's a beautiful looking lightsaber. But I haven't even got a chance to rig it up yet.
Yeah, I think I got it for like 100 or something. It was sort of half price, but. Be aware with that one, your phone gets red hot. Like literally, it just chews your power. So you can play with it for like half an hour, and it feels like your iPhone screen or your Samsung screen is going to burn, right? So just be wary of that.
Buyer beware there. Buyer beware.
Yeah,
okay, so then 4 o'clock we've got the Creatures, Droids, and Aliens of Star Wars. So it's from the Creature Shop. So that actually is quite interesting, actually. That's more of a sort of talking about banking and building creatures and things. That might be worth a look.
Yeah, I'm into that. Definitely.
I think that'd be probably an easier one to get into as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these sort of secondary panels will all depend on what else is going on, I suppose. If you're kind of like, I can rock down, check it out, probably worth checking out. All right. Saturday. These are all the big ones. There's lots and lots of little things, but I'm just sort of heading over to the big ones. There's another page here we can have a look at that. That's sort of the fan podcast little stages, but I'm just sticking to the big stages. See,
this is all new to me. I literally haven't had a chance to look at this. So
well, I'm glad that you're here, mate, that we can enlighten you. So Saturday 11 a.m. is the Galaxy's Edge. So more details about the theme park. Where are we landing on that?
Yep. I want to go to that.
Catherine's giving a thumbs up.
I'm 50-50. Like it's going to take a while for me to go there, I reckon. So I really don't want to know about it until I'm ready to go. And I think this is one of these things where, give it 2 or 3 years, I'll probably take the family over. So yeah, I'm sort of 50-50 on that one. If I miss that one, I'm not too
I'm
unhappy.
Probably the same. Yeah. I think if we sort of all applied and we all got in, and I could probably pop down and check it out. But I'm sort of going, if there was something else, I'd probably have to see what else was going on at the same time.
Yeah, I want to see what it clashes with, but I'd be interested in meeting the Imagineers because I like that type of stuff. Also, I've got a friend who's a Disney sort of expert and travel agent in America, so I know she'd be really interested. So I'd love to send her some details.
Yeah, nice. So there you go. That's enough incentive right there. So moving on, we have the Jedi Fallen Order, which is the new video game. So this is sort of the new game from EA. I am interested in this because I do play a lot of games. I like Star Wars games and stuff. I will apply to go to this, but again, if I don't get in, it's not the end of the world. But I would definitely probably check that out. I'd probably rather see that than the Parks one, to be honest. But again, you guys aren't big video games people, so it's somewhat indifferent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in the 80s and 90s for video games, so I'll let that
Are they going to talk about Super Star Wars on Super Nintendo? Or
Yeah, like honestly, I've recently just installed that classic NES and SNES and installed all the Star Wars games.
Oh, have you done that, have you? I've got to do that. I've actually managed to rig mine up. It's actually sitting into my computer monitor right now. I've got to find a Windows machine to do it on. We don't have one around the house.
Yeah, I was the same. So I had to borrow someone's. I think it was my parents-in-law who had Windows because
it's quite easy once you do it, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just don't let Windows in my house because it just breeds viruses. So
so this is an interesting one. 4:00 is the Sisters of the Force, a celebration of women in Star Wars, which looks like it'd be quite cool. Ashley Eckstein's in there. Amy Ratcliffe, a couple of other names I recognise. Catherine Tabor. I think that will actually be pretty good. Good for a look.
Yeah, I reckon that one could be interesting.
All right, good. We'll pencil that one in as a likely one. Now, Sunday, 11 a.m., The Mandalorian. I mean, this is probably the second most sought-after panel for Celebration, would we agree?
Maybe third after Phantom Menace.
Oh, really?
Not for me. I reckon this is second for me. But
yeah, I'd go Episode 9, then Phantom Menace, then Mandalorian. That would be my pick. But I'm happy to go with the crowd and go with the group. Whatever happens. Whatever happens.
Anything new, anything brand new, piques my interest. I mean, I'd love to go to the Phantom Menace one, but I think I'd rather be in there for this one than Phantom Menace. I mean, this Phantom Menace and 9 are my sort of three big daddies. And I'll hopefully get into at least one of them. So I'm assuming, I mean, Dave Filoni's going to be there.
Jon Favreau?
I don't know. Filoni's going to be on the stage. I'm not sure if Favreau's going to be there. It just says learn about the world from Favreau. Do you think we'll get Taika Waititi? Maybe? A couple of the directors. Pedro maybe. Pascal. I mean, we made jokes about the cast that you want to get Nick Nolte up there being crazy and Carl Weathers and all those kind of nut bars that they've got on the. Carl Weathers is a pretty normal bloke, but Nick Nolte is famously unhinged, so that'd be pretty funny.
Very interesting mix.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we'll see a trailer of that. I don't think they'll be showing the first episode. I'd be very surprised if we see that, but I'd say we'll get some kind of sizzle reel.
Yeah.
Maybe a behind the scenes and maybe a trailer.
Yeah, behind the scenes, maybe.
Maybe one or both.
Have we figured out when Disney Plus is coming to Australia? Because that's the most important thing, right?
We were just talking. Yeah. It's funny that you'll be on this podcast and you missed the first half of the conversation. But we were talking about that, and we're pretty much assuming that all the new content will come to Stan, because that's where the Disney content is now in Australia. At least in the short term until they launch Disney Plus full here. So I'd say maybe the first year or two of content will end up on Stan, just the new stuff. I don't know whether they'll get all the Disney back catalogue, but that's my bet. Am I safe there?
Yet another streaming service just to subscribe to.
Yeah. Cough up that money, Turbo.
Yeah.
So 1:30, we have a conversation with Alan Tudyk. K2SO.
That would be good.
Yeah, I really like him. He's a good character.
He's a pretty charismatic dude. He'd probably have some good stories and things. I think that'd be good. I mean, Warwick Davis is on there as well, so you kind of get Warwick Davis and Alan Tudyk bonus. Yeah. Double feature.
Yeah. And do you think we'll see K2SO again in the TV series? I'm sure we will, surely.
I don't know. In the Cassian one?
Yeah. I'm sure... we have to see some sort of origin story, right?
There's a comic that goes into the origin story, but I don't know how that works with the timelines. So, I'm sure they'll work something out. They can always retcon things if they need to.
Yeah, I reckon comic books you can retcon pretty easily.
Yep.
But I would say maybe not in the entire season, but you'd think, getting towards the end, getting towards the actual events of Rogue One, they'd have to put him in.
Catherine's thought a lot about this. She's just like calculating the Diego Luna screen time. So that looks like a good one. So this is a big one for some.
It's a good day on this stage.
It is a good day. The Clone Wars sneak peek, the new Clone Wars. Now this is actually, it's on the big stage, on the celebration stage. So for some people, big deal. I like the Clone Wars. I'm not a massive Clone Wars person. I think for some people this is a massive deal. I know Andy's big Clone Wars. What about you guys? Where does this land for you guys?
So I've seen every single episode once.
Yeah,
and
same.
I tried to watch them with my older son in chronological order, and there was times there where it was sort of after work and I'd fall asleep watching them, and it's all a bit vague around what I remember. But I like them in general, but it's not something that if I was to miss it, I wouldn't be that disappointed. I had grand plans to do another rewatch, but I think time's ticking, so that's out of the.
Get them loaded on for the plane ride, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's the same. I mean, I'd be interested, but it's not. I feel like I wouldn't want to give up my seat to someone who would really want to go see that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there'll be some really rabid people for that. But I think it won't be the thing of 9. I think they'll be able to, anybody who wants to go to that will probably get in. And there's a good chance they may show a whole episode or quite a lot of one, I reckon.
Or at least, a bit of a... These are some of the arcs we'll be touching on.
Yeah. So with the Clone Wars, I remember I had a trip to Japan, and I stayed in this Star Wars themed Airbnb, and they had every single Clone Wars Blu-ray in Japanese. So the Prime audio channel was Japanese. So I was sitting there watching with English subtitles and Japanese, and I remember watching, I think it was the final season with the Yoda. Was it all the Yoda arc? I think it was. Or
the Forcey mystical one.
Yeah, the mystical ones. Yeah. That was actually pretty cool. So I might try and revisit some of those major arcs before I go, just to refresh my memory. But as I said, time's ticking, and I'm just trying to catch up on work since I've been away for a bit. So I think 15 days is not going to cut
it. Okay, so Monday, which is a lot of the time they kind of go, that's the sort of the toilet day, like the garbage day. But the Phantom Menace 20th anniversary special is on, and that's definitely in my top 3.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I just want to see Ahmed Best. I mean, everyone said it before, but I want to see Ahmed Best. I want to see the crowd reaction to Ahmed Best walking on stage. That's the main reason, right?
Warwick Davis is hosting. It does say, special guests. So Ahmed Best is there. Ian McDiarmid is coming.
Yep, Hayden Christensen.
He's not in episode 1 though. So you say Ahmed Best, Ian McDiarmid, probably a lock. I think Hugh Corshi from Phantom Menace, Captain Panaka, he's signing autographs as well, so he's going to probably be at the panel.
I'd love to see Rick Oley. What's his name? Is it Ralph Brown or something? What's his name? From Spinal Tap. He's in Spinal Tap.
He's
what's his name?
He's in Spinal Tap, but he's in With Nail and I, and he's
also
in
With Nail. Yes.
He's I had to beat him to death with their own shoes. He's basically playing the same guy from With Nail and I. Yeah, very versatile actor, Ralph Brown. I think he's in Alien 3 as well.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
There's a pool.
I'm sure Matt Frost would be proud with that callback with Alien 3.
Yeah, Matt, if you're listening. So I mean,
Ewan McGregor turns up.
That's the big one, isn't it? Is Ewan McGregor going to be there? I doubt we'd see Natalie Portman. Liam Neeson probably won't show his face for a little while.
No.
The speculation is that they're going to announce an Obi-Wan show. Could Ewan McGregor come out and do that?
But would they announce that here?
Well, that could be the last big bang for the weekend. He's like, by the way, everybody, we're doing Obi-Wan TV, and I'll be doing my Ewan McGregor impression again. There you go. There it is. Chalk that one up.
Do you think we're going to see someone like Kitster maybe? I don't know. Some sort of random. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Shmee.
Peniela August. Yeah, why not? Get them out. The more the merrier. I think, as long as they've all got something to say.
With that Monday, I was toing and froing about whether to stay or not. So I am planned to. I fly back after Monday night, but now my wife tells me that she has to go to Melbourne that day for work. So I'm a bit confused about what to do. So watch this space. As I said, I'd really love to know if I'm going to be able to get in on Monday. If not, I'd love to fly home a day earlier. But we'll see.
So you haven't got a pass for Monday yet?
I know I have a pass, but I'm talking about the ballot system, right? It'd be nice to know.
Yep. You should know the night before, though.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they'll tell people the night before. I mean, they're still going to figure out when the lottery closes, because you'd want to know, because then you might be like, well, I don't want to get up and get there at 11.
I just want to know now.
Yeah,
it's too much to ask.
I think it's closing. I think it closes the Thursday, like the day before anyway, so you won't know. Yeah. I mean, because episode 9 is the Friday, so it probably means that you'll know the night or the morning of if you got in or not. I'm assuming they're not going to let everybody just turn up and then maybe, but yeah, because if the panels that
there might be some stragglers, so then they might let people in and people don't.
Well, I think it's all
allocated.
Well, it's all allocated seating. So if you get into the lottery, say we get into episode 9, they'll say, okay, you got into episode 9, you've got to get into the doors between whatever, 10 a.m. and 10:20 through these doors, and if you don't come through, basically we let the next people in. So
you want to know that,
so you'd want to know that the night before, so you can basically just say we're going to make sure we're there earlier, because I don't think the convention centre opens till 10. So
I'm hoping that there are lots of hungover people the night before that don't make it, and then we can just fill in.
That might be us. That might be us if we're not careful.
Yeah, you're right, but yeah.
So then we've got short stories with Warwick Davis. So he's doing a sort of looks like he's doing a bit of a career retrospective with Warwick Davis. I mean, I like Warwick Davis. I'm not doing anything else. I'm sort of pottering around. I'd go check that out. He's talking Willow and some other things as well.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some Willow stories. That'd be cool. Yeah. I watched that the other night on Blu-ray. That was fantastic.
Oh,
it was like a whole new world. Like I only remember VHS. I've got a copy on VHS, and as you know, you go widescreen and Blu-ray resolution, and you go, wow, that's a different movie almost.
Oh, the sort of turning into pigs always terrified me as a kid. I always made it hard to go back.
That's true.
It's a bit too scary. And then finally is the celebration closing ceremony. So I guess you just come in and they say, thanks for coming, everybody. Star Wars, Star Wars, and
some hand clapping and some holding up of what's the ball that Boss Nass holds up? That
blue ball thing.
Yeah, whatever that's called. Yeah, that's the end of it, right? Surely.
Yeah.
So they're the sort of the major ones on in the arena, the celebration stage schedule. There are some other things. I'll just burn through these quite quickly, which is there's 20 years of Lego Star Wars story, which is worth a look, 20 years of Star Wars Lego. Now this one I'm very interested in seeing, which is on the Friday, which is the music of The Phantom Menace with David Collins. So I really like David Collins' podcasts. That would be really worth looking at seeing.
Oh yeah, I want to sit next to Eric Struthers in that one. He'd be well into it. Yep.
Well, Eric had actually tweeted saying, I want to go see that. He replied in a tweet that David Collins had put up, and I said, I'll be there with you. And David Collins had liked our tweets, so we're like, well, we can't let David Collins down. He seems like the nicest dude as well. So there's an ILM about Solo panel as well, which would be quite interesting. And then the Rebels Remembered one, which is on the Saturday. See, it's on the smaller stages. So yeah, the Rebels might be okay. I don't mind Rebels. It'll depend on what else I'm up to, I think.
I do like that at the end of that they say, full disclosure, we are not announcing a new series in this panel.
So don't yell anything out.
There's the cosplay competition. I think that'd be worth a look.
Yeah.
Although I feel like if you're walking the floor, you'd probably see a lot of that kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah. Is anyone any one of us cosplaying? I think I'm just going to wear a t-shirt or 5 different t-shirts.
I have
That's
so
about it.
many t-shirts to wear.
Catherine's going to be cosplaying as a merch addict.
Just multiple layers,
Yeah, she might have to just wear a few layers of t-shirts. She's bought so many layers. And, I can't criticize her because she's bought a bunch of my t-shirts. So I will never discourage her unless it becomes a real problem. And at the moment, I think she's got it under control.
Full disclosure, I haven't bought one of yours yet, but
mate,
it'll
okay.
be forthcoming.
That's okay, mate.
Choose Luke, I think.
Choose Luke. There's a Star Wars Let's Play. I'm not quite sure what that is. Oh, it's sort of like it's about sort of. Oh, here we go. This is you, mate. Love classic Star Wars games like Super Star Wars Bounty Hunter, or Star Wars Racer, hosted by David Collins. Star Wars special guests as they play their favorite Star Wars classics.
Racer is the best.
Now you're talking your language. This looks like that'd be good fun, actually. That's towards the end of the day. That might be worth a look, actually. All right.
It's the first I've heard of that one, so count me in for that. Yep.
And then we've got, on Sunday, we've got Doug Chang talking designing. Being a designer myself, I wouldn't mind having a look at that. I do like his designs, Doug Chang's. So that might be worth a look. Talking about concept designs and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
We've got an ILM model shop one on Sunday as well, talking about the classic model shop building the practical models and things, which should be interesting.
Is there anything with Steve Sansweet at all, or has he just got his little exhibition like?
I haven't
Rancho?
seen his name yet. He might be on the Rebels panel though, or the Clone Wars. I think he does voices on both.
I thought Steve Sansweet was bringing parts of Rancho Obi-Wan collection to Celebration.
Oh, Steve Sansweet. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with
Steve Stanton. Sorry,
Steve Stanton.
I'm talking Rancho Obi-Wan. Yeah.
He'd have a
No, he's Steve
exhibition
Sansweet.
there.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I haven't seen like an actual panel with him, but I know he would be doing an exhibition because during April, Rancho Obi-Wan
is closed. Yeah, so we can't go to Rancho Obi-Wan while we're in San Fran. We're going to have to just, hang out, do something else. We've got a Star Wars Resistance Season 2 sneak peek. I haven't finished Resistance, but by all accounts, people really start loving Resistance now.
Yes, me, the big critic, got turned around on that second half, so...
Yeah, I've still got 2 episodes to go, so I've been away, and I'm trying to wait to watch them with my oldest son. So yeah, I'm down to the last 2, and they are getting a lot better. So I'm looking
I'm
forward
miles
to that.
behind. I've got them all. I'm going to load them all on the iPad. That might be my flight over entertainment, I think. So we'll see. And then we've got the closing ceremony. We've got that. There's some collectibles updates. There's the Hasbro panel, the Lucasfilm Publishing. There's some quizzes. I mean, there's Del Rey collecting. There's comics panel. There's Funko panel. Behind the scenes of the Cantina. Into the archives. I'm just pushing through these publishers. Publishing, writing, world tape, a tattoo competition. I mean, I think that's about all the major stuff. And we haven't even talked about the podcast stages or anything like that yet. But I mean, there's with no shortage of things to see and do. I mean, I've picked out probably 10 things there that I would happily sit through. So I think it'll just see how we go, I guess. Like you said, it's all in the fate of the celebration gods.
Yeah, I think the one thing is I won't actually have much time to see Chicago at all. So I'm looking forward to a few nighttime, pubs or whatever. But yeah, as far as Chicago goes, I'm in, then I'm out. So there's not many spare days for me.
Right next to Wrigley Field, and they're having a special Star Wars themed baseball match on the Saturday. But I think we'll be at Celebration. I would have liked to have popped in, gone to a baseball game. Even though I have been to a baseball game, I find it a bit boring. This is someone who can sit and watch. Well, I can sit and watch 5 days of Test cricket, no problem. So I don't know what I'm complaining about. But anyway,
yeah. Look, I'm the same. I can happily watch 5 days, but baseball, take it or leave it. Yeah.
So that's it really. So lots to look forward to. Matt, you're staying out in your backyard at the moment. I think that's why we can hear crickets. It's not just the audience that are giving us crickets; it's the actual crickets.
It sounds a bit like Endor sometimes.
It's so serene.
There's nothing in my backyard. It's just all trees. So you can imagine that. Yeah.
Well, we'll put a pin in it. I think we've gone through everything pretty comprehensively. And now this is going to be episode 49 of the podcast. And episode 40... So I think that there won't be an episode next week in preparation. And number 50 will be recorded in Chicago at Celebration. So it'll likely be me, you, Andy, Steph, Matt, and myself in the homestead.
Yep.
Probably we're getting ready to get out there. So I know you don't get in till about midnight, Matt. So we might go on without you, and we'll tack you on at the end. We'll just see what condition we're in. Basically, we might all be completely off bonkers and we wide awake and just mucking around. But
yeah, that's cool. I'll knock on the door and let myself in and then start chatting. It's fine. Yeah.
Like, hey guys, what's going on? What's going on?
Keep the tape rolling. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the recorder and just add your bit at the end, and we'll cut out the 6 hours of silence where we've all been asleep.
Cool.
All right, mate. Well, we'll wind it up there. Thanks, guys, for coming over and doing this. It's a nice little, step into the unknown, and we can report on how we go, everything. So, thanks a lot, Matt.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me into your celebration home. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Josh, for hosting us over the internet.
That's right.
And for organising me.
Oh, no, that's right. We're not there yet. Let's just wait and see. When we all don't get into any panels and you'll turn on me, then it'll be a different story.
No, it'll be my fault.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
See ya.
Bye.